Learning English can be a challenge, but it's also a journey full of rewards. Many people think that learning a language takes years of hard work, but the truth is, you can learn English faster than you might think. There is a secret to learning English, and once you discover it, you'll see how easy it can be. The secret is simple. Practice every day. It might sound too easy, but it works. The more you practice, the better you get. You don't need to spend hours studying grammar rules or memorizing long lists of words. Instead, focus on small, consistent practice. Just a little bit of practice every day can make a huge difference in your ability to speak and understand English. Let me tell you a story. When I first started learning English, I didn't know much at all. I felt nervous when I tried to speak, and I couldn't understand much when people spoke to me. But I didn't let that stop me. I made a plan to practice a little bit every day, even if it was just for 15 minutes. At first, I listened to simple podcasts and watched English videos. I didn't try to understand everything at once. I started by picking up a few words and phrases. The more I listened, the more I understood. Slowly, my brain started to make connections, and I could understand more and more. And as my listening improved, my speaking did too. I started using the words I had learned, and I didn't worry about making mistakes. Every mistake was a lesson that helped me get better. So, what's the secret? It's about listening, speaking, and being patient with yourself. Don't worry about speaking perfectly. Just focus on practicing every day. Over time, your confidence will grow, and your English will improve. You'll start to speak with more ease, and you'll understand more when you listen to English speakers. One of the best ways to practice is by listening to English podcasts. Podcasts are a great tool because you can listen to them wherever you are, while walking, cooking, or even cleaning. And the best part? You can choose podcasts that fit your level. There are podcasts for beginners, intermediate learners, and advanced speakers. If you don't understand something, don't worry. Just keep listening, and over time, you'll start to understand more. Another secret to learning English is to speak as much as possible. You might be afraid to speak at first, but the more you speak, the easier it becomes. Find a language partner or join an English-speaking group. It's okay if you make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. The key is to keep practicing. Every time you speak, you're getting better. Now, let's talk about the power of repetition. Repetition is key to learning any language. If you hear a word or phrase you don't understand, listen to it again. If you don't catch the meaning, look it up and then listen to the same podcast again. Repeat the same content many times. This helps your brain remember words and phrases, and it also helps you get used to the rhythm and flow of English. The more you repeat, the more natural the language will feel. You'll start to notice patterns in how words are used and how sentences are structured. Eventually, you'll be able to use those patterns in your own speaking and writing. But it's not just about listening and speaking. Another secret is to read in English. Reading helps improve your vocabulary and helps you understand sentence structure. Start by reading simple texts, like children's books or short articles. As you get better, try reading news articles, blogs, or even novels. Choose topics that interest you, because when you enjoy what you read, learning becomes much easier. You can also try reading along with audio. Listen to a podcast or watch a video, and follow along with the transcript or subtitles. This helps connect the written and spoken forms of the language in your mind. It's also helpful to learn in context. Don't just memorize words. Try to learn phrases and sentences that you can use in real conversations. This will help you remember the words better, and it will make speaking easier. For example, if you're learning how to order food at a restaurant, learn the full sentence. Could I please have the chicken sandwich? Instead of just learning chicken and sandwich, learning the entire sentence will make it easier to use in real situations. Another secret to learning English is to immerse yourself in the language. Surround yourself with English as much as possible. Change your phone's language settings to English. Watch movies and TV shows in English, and listen to English music. The more you're surrounded by English, the faster you'll learn. Don't be afraid to make mistakes either. Making mistakes is a part of the learning process. If you're not making mistakes, you're not challenging yourself enough. Don't worry if you say something wrong. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. The key is to keep practicing and keep trying. The more mistakes you make, the faster you'll learn. You should also set small goals for yourself. Don't focus on being perfect. Instead, set goals that are achievable. For example, decide to learn 5 new words a day, or commit to listening to an English podcast for 10 minutes every day. These small goals will help you stay motivated and focused. Over time, these small goals will add up, and you'll be surprised at how much you've learned. Another important secret is to stay consistent. Learning a language isn't something you can do in a few days. It takes time, and you need to stay consistent. Even if you only practice for a few minutes each day, that's better than nothing. Keep going and don't give up. The more consistent you are, the faster you'll learn. Lastly, remember that learning English is a journey, not a race. You don't need to rush. It's okay if it takes time. The important thing is that you're making progress every day. As long as you're practicing and staying consistent, you'll get better. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace, and you'll get there in your own time. You might find yourself getting frustrated sometimes. Maybe you're not speaking as well as you hoped, or you can't understand everything that native speakers say. It's completely normal to feel like that. Learning a language is like building a muscle. You won't see results overnight, but as long as you keep practicing, you'll start to see improvements. Every day you practice, you're getting one step closer to your goal. A big mistake that many learners make is focusing too much on fluency. Of course, speaking fluently is the goal, but it's important to focus on communication first. Being able to express your thoughts, even with simple words, is far more important than speaking perfectly. If you can make yourself understood, that's a huge win. Fluency will come with time, so don't stress about it. One of the best things you can do while learning English is to stay curious. Be curious about the language and culture, and try to explore new things every day. You can start by learning about idioms, slang, or even accents. The more you explore, the more you'll appreciate the richness of the language. This curiosity will keep you engaged and motivated in your learning journey. I want to share something with you that really helped me stay focused. It's the idea of learning through enjoyment. When I first started learning English, I did it the traditional way. Grammar books, vocabulary lists, and worksheets. But after a while, it started to feel like a chore. I wasn't excited about learning anymore. That's when I decided to try something new. I started watching movies, listening to music, and reading books in English. I didn't even focus too much on learning. I just wanted to enjoy the content, and I realized that it helped me learn more than I expected. When you enjoy the process, learning feels less like a task and more like an adventure. And this is key. Enjoyment fuels motivation. When you're motivated, you're more likely to stick with your learning journey. So, try to find activities that make learning English fun for you. Whether it's listening to a podcast, watching your favorite TV show, or reading a book, you'll learn faster when you enjoy what you're doing. Another strategy that helped me tremendously was setting mini goals. Instead of thinking about the big picture all the time, I focused on small, achievable targets. For example, I aimed to learn 5 new words every day, or to complete 1 podcast episode each week. These small goals gave me a sense of accomplishment and kept me motivated. Once I reached a mini goal, I would set a new one. This way, I was constantly challenging myself without feeling overwhelmed. A very powerful tool that many people overlook is self-reflection. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind of learning, but it's important to take a step back sometimes and reflect on your progress. Think about how far you've come since you started. Do you understand more now than you did a month ago? Can you speak more confidently? Reflecting on your growth can give you a sense of pride and motivate you to keep going. One thing I always tell myself and others is, don't be afraid of making mistakes. In fact, I encourage you to make mistakes. Mistakes are the best teachers. It's okay if you mess up. You're learning, and the only way to improve is to try. Remember, every time you make a mistake, you're closer to fluency. So, don't let fear hold you back. Be bold and don't be afraid to speak. You might also want to try immersing yourself in the language in different ways. As I mentioned earlier, one of the best ways to learn English is by surrounding yourself with it. But what does immersion really mean? It's about integrating English into your daily life in ways that feel natural. I hope this podcast helped you guys, buddy. I believe in you. Just do these and you'll learn